All right, we want to do something fun. My name is Vince Hordeman. I am one of the owners of Select Printing, and this week we wanted to bring you a live broadcast. This is the first time we are trying this YouTube broadcast, so please bear with us. This could be, you might have a front row seat to a absolute train wreck, or this could go pretty good. We've got some things that we wanted to go over, but traditionally we've been releasing a feature every week on a different client, a story behind the story kind of a deal. This week we didn't have anything scheduled, so we figured we would take a deeper look behind the scenes on some of the features that we had recently done, and it might provide a little more interest for you. So we put together a recap here. I've got a few pages of things we were going to go over, and before we get into these, some people are kind of wondering, all right, who are these features on and why are we doing them? And these are all clients of ours, clients that have more than just a shirt they're printing. We always say, you don't just print a shirt, you don't print hoodies for no reason. There's always a reason why you're printing them. The people that have them printed understand the story, and the people that are getting those hoodies or that swag understands the story. But sometimes people beyond that don't. But there are some really cool stories to be told, and we wanted to dig deeper because we thought those stories should be shared. We felt like our local community here would be interested in them. So that's why we're doing them, and they've been a lot of fun. Simply put, every shirt tells a story. So here's some things you're going to see today if you want to stay tuned. If you are interested in basketball, if you are interested in college sports, if you're interested in the college campus and community and giving back, we're going to be talking about some of those things. If you are an entrepreneur, or you own your own business, or you love branding and want to do a better job with your branding, if you're into culture building, we're going to get into that too. So there's a lot of different topics that we'll be going through today, and I think these features do a good job of bringing that information to you. So let's see, we're going to start off here. We have a client out in Caldwell, Idaho, the College of Idaho, and they do different stuff with us throughout the year, whether it's their basketball team or their program council. Their student body gets very involved with some of the things that we do, and they let us be a part of it. So this past winter in December, they had a cool camp for young kids, and they let us be a part of that. So we're going to take a quick look at that, and then talk a little bit more about what went into making the video.
Purpose of it is to just get out and have fun with the kids community here, but on top of that, share something we love with them and try and teach them some things about basketball, things that they can work on and improve and get better.
All right, so the College of Idaho is one of the top ranked NAIA teams in the entire country, and they're doing some very special things over there with their basketball team. But we really thought this was a neat deal because they, as you know, to become elite at anything you're doing takes hours and hours and hours of dedication. And as a basketball player on the court, their job is to go out and win games. But we thought it was really cool that every year they take a couple of days and they give their time back to the kids that attend it. And if you watch the rest of that video, you're going to see why. You know, they talk a lot about team together. They talk about why it's important to give back to the community, the role that the kids play in their community, and why they're so important, why that environment that they create is so cool at the camp. The energy is unbelievable. They actually gave us a tour of their locker room, which is in the feature. They talk about dealing with adversity, and then of course you're going to see some massive celebrations. These guys celebrate everything and they go all in, so it's really cool. If you like to smile, this is definitely one worth a watch. You know, there's some of the things that you can't capture on film is the environment, the feel of this environment. The kids there, the energy in that building is amazing. You know, one of the things that you don't see and is a big part of why it's so much success, has so much success, is because their head coach, Colby Blaine, is heavily involved in the camp. He's there every day. He's a big participant in it as well. He truly is invested in the kids that are at this camp, and so that's really cool, and it's kind of rare to see that. And what else is rare is every player on that roster is involved, every coach on the staff is involved, and I think they even had some of their athletic training staff there. They get behind these camps 100%. We couldn't get that all in the video, but I'm telling you, it was really cool. If you want to see more on that feature, just go to our main page on YouTube, and you can check it out. And by the way, this is being broadcast live on YouTube. Obviously, if you're on YouTube, you know that. If you're watching this on a different channel, because we're going to record this and share it in different channels, so if you're seeing this somewhere else and you want to see this kind of stuff first, make sure you go to our YouTube channel. Just type in YouTube and search for Select Printing. Our channel should pop up, and you'll get to see all this stuff first. Just wanted to throw that out there. So the next feature that we wanted to look back on is a brand that's really making a name for itself in the Treasure Valley. In fact, not just the Treasure Valley, but across the country. Amherst Madison was selected to be in the Inc. 5000, which is a really big deal. If you are an entrepreneur, you probably know and probably subscribe to Inc. magazine. They came in number 715 in the country, which is a pretty big deal, and that's based on their growth over, I think, the last 3 years. So they're doing some really good things, but what was interesting is that Amherst started with a real struggle, and the owner, Nick Schleckaway, he went through some true adversity and some hurdles at the beginning that not a lot of people know about, and so we tried to capture a little bit of that in the feature, just to show you what it's like if you have a business, some of the challenges that you're going to have to go through. So let's take a look at that.
There wasn't a single person in my life that thought that it was a good idea for me to leave the fire department and open a real estate brokerage. Not one. I mean, family, friends, mentors, people that I had known my whole life and respected said, don't do this. This is a bad idea. Take a leave of absence. I mean, people were wanting to do interventions with me. They thought I freaking lost my mind. Do not do this. This is a bad idea. Well, Nick Schleckaway, Amherst Madison, and the founder, started the company, I guess it'd be 5 years ago now, July of 2013.
I'm Eva Steinwald. I'm the designated broker of Amherst Madison here in beautiful Boise, Idaho. And I've been the broker.
All right, so it was that's just the beginning of the video. All in all, there is about 10 minutes of it, and if you dive into it, it's great because they talk about the reason that they have minimum standards for their agents and how they interview those agents to make sure that they're going to be a good fit for that culture. They talk a lot about dealing with fear, and the fear, if you have never done sales before, then you may not kind of understand it, or maybe it's the reason you don't do sales. Or if you've never started a business before, you may not quite understand this, but if you're an entrepreneur, or you started a business, or you do anything that involves risk, there's always fear. And they both address that. Both Eva, the broker, and Nick address the fear and why you should be feeling fear, and some of the things that they try to do to maybe kind of help you overcome it. I know that they do a very good job with that. They talk about the journey to the Inc. 5000. They talk about their culture. They talk about how they give back to the community. In fact, Amherst ran an event in December where they raised, I think, $112,000 and gave it all back to local charities. So they really are adamant that they give back and be a positive contributor to the Treasure Valley as a real estate brokerage. So that's really cool. So, it's, again, we can't put everything in these videos, but what was interesting is, so the feature that we created, and you can check that out on our YouTube page under the Every Shirt Tells a Story playlist. The video is 10 minutes long, but we actually had about almost 2 hours worth of footage and videos, or of interviews, with both Nick and Eva. And I'm telling you, if you ever get the chance, and if you know them, you already know this, if you could get the chance to sit down with them, have a cup of coffee, and pick their brains on probably any topic, you're going to be better off for it. They're just wells of knowledge, and it's so easy to sit there and listen. And when I interviewed Nick, I didn't even realize how long we'd been there, and by the time we were done, it had been an hour and 20 minutes, which was very generous on his part. He's a very busy guy, but we got so many great clips out of it, and we couldn't fit them all in there, and we went over and over and over, and we just thought it was too much. Maybe at some point we'll put together a best of kind of a show, and we'll take the best clips out of there and put them all together. But very good stuff. You'll notice when you go in there, there's a lot of B-roll clips of Boise and the downtown area. It was interesting. That was a bit of a struggle because the day that we were scheduled to do those shots, it was very foggy and dark. But Michael Goward, our video and production guy, he did an excellent job, I thought, of still finding a way to capture that. So that was really cool. And then what some people may have heard, but was great for Amherst, is they're building a brand new facility, which is scheduled, weather permitting, to be done at the end of this year, December 2019, and it should be an absolute amazing facility. So definitely want to get in there. You'll want to check out that feature, check out all the different pieces to it. Amherst is a very special place, so you'll want to check out the entire feature for sure on that. Okay, so the next one we wanted to look at was a very cool rivalry that goes on in Boise, Idaho, between the Boise Braves over at Boise High School and the Borah Lions at Borah High School. This is the oldest high school basketball rivalry in Boise, and I think I looked it up. Boise has been around since 1902, and then Borah came in 1958, I want to say. So this rivalry has been going on for a very long time. We wanted to capture it because we know that when the red and the green get together, it can be a real battle. So we went out there, got some interviews, and then put together a feature. So here's the first part of that.
Simple. You do whatever it takes to be on the winning end of it.
It's not friendly for 32 minutes. We know they don't like us. Our players get after it, and that's what you want.
All right, hopefully that made it through okay. It looks like it may not. I think it may have cut off, so I apologize about that. But it's a pretty special rivalry. When you go and you check out the feature, you'll see some of the, we did interviews beforehand, and you're going to see highlights from the game. You'll get a feel for what that gym is like, learn a little bit about the history of this rivalry. And what was really fun was to hear from Coach Varela from Boise High on why Boise High School only sells Beat Borah shirts. He said, we don't sell Beat Capital shirts, we don't sell Beat Timberline shirts. There's a reason we only stock one shirt. So that was a great quote, and he's right. There is a huge rivalry there. Personally, this was a really, really special feature for us to be a part of. For me personally, my brother and I, Clint, one of the other owners of the company, we grew up in Boise High School. Our dad was a longtime coach there, so we have been very aware of this rivalry since we were born, essentially, going back to the days of the old Boise High brick house, and they're rebuilding it now and have kept some of those things. So coming up in the future, there's going to be even more of that older flavor to the rivalry. But it was a really neat deal, and it was cool to talk to the coaches and some of the players beforehand about the rivalry and get their impressions of it. So check that feature out. I think you're probably going to like it. And if you love rivalries and you love high school basketball, they have a really good approach to it. So check it out. Coming up, so that's the end of those features. But coming up next week, we actually have another rivalry that was a really big deal. The Stinky Sneaker between two schools in a different school district that pack the house and go absolutely bananas. Our Michael was over there checking it out, and he said, this is unreal. I cannot believe the type of atmosphere it is and the things that they do in the student body. I mean, the students get behind it, and it's basically a spirit award, but he gets into the meaning of it. We talked to some coaches and players again about what the Stinky Sneaker really means. So be sure to check that out. That should be coming out on Thursday. and we hope you like that one. I think it's going to be pretty special. In the meantime, if you haven't already, please do us a favor, subscribe to our YouTube channel. It lets us know people are watching and paying attention. We would sure love it if you could do that. Other than that, we're going to bring this to a close. We hope you have a fantastic day, and be looking next week for another feature from Select Printing on one of our great clients over at Mountain View High School. Take care.